Gore readings, flesh wound horror freaks, and welcome to a very special interview with David Howard Thornton, star of Terrifier 2, Art the Clown, of course. Very excited for that. But before we get into that exclusive interview, the gentlemen, are you excited? Because this is a big one for us.
Yeah, for sure. It's not every day you get to interview a horror icon, so definitely very cool that we got the opportunity to do this. And thank you, David, for giving us your time.
Absolutely. He'll hit Freddy level. We need like the pull string Art the Clown dolls. And although we don't have Toys R Us anymore, so there's our KB, unfortunately. But let's say Walmart and Target's action figure game has been strong lately, so we're gonna make that happen there. There needs to be some more Art the Clown merch, bed sheets. We want Art the Clown everything.
Now I just want an Art the Clown doll in the style of the Matchbox Freddy. That's
all for sure.
The sprinkler. Anybody remember the sprinkler? We need the Art the Clown sprinkler. Only spits out blood though. That's they got to come up with some sort of way to gimmick the water. Yes, a very awesome interview with David coming up here in just a moment. But before we do that, just a little some plugs. So Flesh Wound Features is going to have content for you every day in October, sometimes 2 shows a day. I want to say there might have been one where we had 3 shows in a day last October. So we've got you covered. We're the hardest working horror podcast running today. We're going to have surprise guests, interviews. We're also going to have our Slashtober tournament, which is always a good time. There's always a lot of passion, a lot of fighting. We're not afraid to fight on this show, so you'll get plenty of that. We also yes, and as all of you know, there's a lot of big movies dropping this October. So we will, of course, have our review of the new Hellraiser, but also shortly following that, our Hellraiser franchise show, which will be really in depth. We're going to run all of those movies down. Of course, Halloween Ends, and there's just so much coming this month. I can never remember it all.
We got commentaries every Sunday.
Yes.
Monday, Farce is going to be every Monday. We're going to do a core comedy. So that'll be fun.
Yes. And also patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures it all starts at just $1 and you get a lot of bonus content. We try and make you laugh. We try and make you laugh on the main show too, but you get a lot of if you're not sick of us, hop on there. There's a lot of exclusives. And beyond that, also Night of the Demons franchise show with special guest, the most knowledgeable person there could be for Night of the Demons, so you won't want to miss that show. And
he's definitely a cornerstone.
Definitely the cornerstone. So yes, there's something for you every single day. And if I put us over enough yet, what have I not put over yet? Also, fleshwoundfeatures.com. Get your t-shirts there. And all your official Christmas Cruelty merchandise. Speaking of homicidal maniacs, Christmas Cruelty is dropping on Blu-ray from Unearthed Films on November 8th, I believe it is. So just in time for Christmas. If you haven't
my mom's birthday, I know what she's getting.
There you go. You've got Art the Clown, and you can just in time for Christmas. You've got Christmas Cruelty, and of course, we're all on the special features for that one here at Flesh Wound.
Well, we don't know if Dan is. He may have got cut.
I'm on less of it. I could have gotten cut, but nonetheless, I'm there in spirit. You never know if
because if I was editing it, Dan would have got cut.
That's really fucking mean, Todd. I do not appreciate it. But anyways, so it's going to be an awesome Blu-ray, even though Todd's on it. And so pre-order it. It's a good time. So yeah, Terrifier 2 fans definitely pre-order.
And you'll be able to see some of our content on there.
Yeah, absolutely. So support the channel on Patreon and support us as well as a great group of guys by pre-ordering Christmas Cruelty. And with that being said, did I leave anything out?
No.
Time for the main event.
Yeah.
All right. So here is David Howard Thornton, and enjoy. All right. So David, welcome. It's so great to have you on the show. And
thank you.
So since the first Terrifier became such a massive hit in the horror community, and it's got such an extensive fan base now, how's life changed for you?
Oh God, for the better. I no longer have to wait tables to make ends meet. That's wonderful. I did that for 13 years. So I'm done giving people extra ranch for their salad on the side and dealing with bad tippers. So that's wonderful. And it's opened up so many more doors for me too, talent wise. And I've been working on some new projects and stuff like that. I've gotten to meet so many cool people doing the convention circuit. So I can't complain at all.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So one question, when we let people know that we were having you on, everybody wanted to know, do you keep it method by staying in character during your downtime on set? And
No.
Oh, you don't? We were gonna, if you did, have you had any awkward moments freaking out your co-stars, even when you're in character?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't keep it method. I can turn art on and off like a switch or something like that. So that's no big deal. I'm not going full Leto on everybody. So that I think everybody's grateful for that. But yeah, I still like to play around with my co-stars, especially like Lauren Lavera, who plays Sienna in part 2. She's got a fear of clowns. So it's amazing I haven't gotten my ass kicked yet, because I like to sneak up behind her and just stand there. So when she turns around, I'm right in her face and scare her. I did that a few times to the other castmates too. I just find ways to scare them here or there on set, just for fun. It's like, hey, welcome Terrifier.
There certainly were some rough scenes that I'm sure it wasn't too hard to act Terrifier.
Yeah. But in between like takes, we're goofing around and stuff like that. So that's always funny. It's like I'm doing horrible things and they say cut and I just crack a joke and everybody's laughing.
No, that's awesome. And we of course have seen the movie, and wow. This one does not skimp on the gore. And
no.
In fact, I would probably say, and this is not overhyping anything at all for those of you out there who haven't seen it, probably one of the most gory movies of all time. And it's not lying in the advertising.
yeah it's probably one of the goriest movies to come out in the last 10, 15, 20 years.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean there was a lot of stuff that came out in the 70s and 80s, especially a lot of the like Hammer movies, or like some like or like Peter Jackson's Dead Alive and stuff like that were pretty gory as well. But it's like I would say that the kill scenes themselves are pretty brutal in this one. They're mean. I think that's the weird juxtaposition with this character. He's doing these horrible, mean, violent things to people, but he's having so much fun doing it, and he's kind of funny while he's doing it.
Yeah, it's almost cartoonish at times, where it's just like, what is he going to pull out now? Is he going to pull an anvil out of his pocket and knock you over the head with it?
Yeah, exactly. It almost has cartoon logic to it. He is kind of like an evil Bugs Bunny. So there you go. He's the horror version of Bugs Bunny.
Do you have like a specific influence that you had in portraying Art the Clown?
Oh God,
besides
so
Bugs?
many. Yeah, so many people. I mean, like a lot of he's like a huge mishmash of all the horror icons that came before him, especially Freddy Krueger. There's a big Freddy influence. There's big Joker influence. But I mean, there's a lot of Harpo Marx, Mr. Bean type stuff in him. Robbie Rotten, because the actor that played Robbie Rotten was my mentor for 5 years. I was his understudy as the Grinch. So I put a lot of what Stefan taught me, Stefan Carl, who played him. And so, yeah, there's a lot of those kind of influences there as well.
Oh, that's awesome. And speaking of horror icons, which I think Art has certainly become at this point, I think 20, 30 years from now, you'll still be getting bugged about Art the Clown.
I won't complain.
Yes, you have the best 8x10, by the way. If somebody meets you at a convention, I recommend the Scooby-Doo.
Oh, isn't that
8x10.
great? I
Yes.
love that one. The artist Steve McGinnis did that, and he now does our comic books.
Yes,
Really cool.
yes.
So yeah, very talented artist.
Yes, pick up the comics for sure. So speaking of iconic horror villains, if there were ever a versus movie, who would you choose for Art to tangle with?
I think I a lot of people would say Freddie would be a cool one for him to go up with. I think Damon's even said that. I think that would be a fun match. But also the hero side, I would like to see him go up against the janitor from Willy's Wonderland.
Oh my God, that would be
You have
amazing.
those two over-the-top crazy silent killers going after each other. One, I think, plus it'll be Nicolas Cage, so it would be crazy. So yeah, that would be fun.
I'm a hardcore Willy's Wonderland fan and a Mandy fan, so I'm all about Art versus the janitor for sure.
Oh my God, yes.
So just we were talking about the kills before. Is there any kill sequence that was just like stands out in your head that you filmed that was just a lot of fun doing?
Oh, the Clown Cafe scene.
Oh man, yeah,
Yeah.
that song's probably
fun.
stuck in your head too.
Oh God, yeah, I can never get that out. But it's a fun song, so I can't complain. But oh my God, that was so much fun to do. I mean, I got to use a flamethrower and a Tommy gun in the same day, and I was just like a kid on set that day. I had so much fun doing that scene, and that was also a nice one too because I wasn't covered in blood for once, and I'm like, this is nice. I'm not sticky by the end of the day. I'm just having fun, and we also had a lot of the fans there on set because they're the Indiegogo backers, and so that was kind of fun having them on set. So their enthusiasm just made us have more fun as well. And that the whole entire week was a fun week for us.
Yeah, I can't imagine like being able to actually be killed by one of your favorite horror icons.
Yeah.
And I can't stress that enough. Like Art the Clown, I think, is really becoming like one of the most familiar faces of the last 20 years that we've had in horror. I mean, there's not many others that are sticking out like a sore thumb. Meme culture with Art the Clown has been amazing online too. I see him pop up on my feed 1,000 times a day. So he's definitely getting out there. So before we get out of here, we actually have a few rapid fire questions that some of our fans from our podcast wanted to ask you. So first off, favorite film of all time?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Nice. Good choice. Favorite clown of all time that isn't Art?
The Joker.
I have seen you play him in that YouTube series. So you have my vote if you ever get casted for that. And favorite pizza topping of all time?
Yeah, pepperoni. I'm old school pepperoni. I love, especially when it's nice and crispy. That's what I really like.
All right. Well,
and also another submission, another dumb question. Favorite soda? Shout out to Orc, friend of the show.
Oh God, I would have to say either Dr. Pepper or orange soda. I think that goes back to my Keenan and Kel days. It's like, who loves orange soda? This guy does. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. you know it's true.
The classics. So we did also want to plug the Terrifier 2 themovie.com, where you can also find, because there are theatrical screenings of Terrifier 2, and guys, we're not just saying it because David's on here. We have watched the movie and it is amazing.
See it on the biggest screen possible.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you. It's fun with an audience. I can vouch for that.
Yeah,
I already got my tickets to see it with an audience. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
Me too.
Have fun.
I had a friend over, and I won't reveal anything, but just the bedroom scene. And they walked in and just nope. They just walked right through the doors. So
that's
you're afraid
what we want.
Yes, if you're afraid of clowns, 1 was scary, 2 is even scarier. So yeah, guys, definitely check it out. See it on the big screen if you can, because I'll be seeing it again too. I thought it was amazing.
The one thing about the movie too, 2.5 hours, you never get a slasher movie that long, and there is not a lick of just downtime. It goes by like nothing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's the thing. It's like the length doesn't matter as long as you keep the audience engaged.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, guys, check out that website, and thank you so much for coming on, David. We really appreciate it.
Oh,
And
thank you, guys.
we wish you all the success, because this movie's awesome, and we'll get Art in space, Art versus Freddy. We want it all.
That would be awesome. Well, thanks for hanging out with me, guys.
Thanks so much for
Absolutely.
coming, man.
Thank you so much, David. That was awesome. And we're so excited to check out Terrifier 2 on the big screen. Check it out however you can. But if you do get a screening near you, and there are more than you would think,
Yep.
Please do. It's the goriest movie you're going to see on the big screen this year, maybe this decade. It does not lie to you. It's basically Terrifier 1 on bath salts. Art's in a very pissed off mood in this one, but playful too. Yeah, he's a clown. Yes. So this weekend, watch out for our Terrifier 2 review, where our official review of the movie. So that should be a good time. As I said at the top of the show, we have got big show after big show. It's October essentially now, so you're going to be seeing everything every day. Multiple shows. Sometimes Flesh Wounds got you covered. Yeah, on that note, Kruger, where, if they want to look up these times once again and these screenings, where do they go?
Yeah, Terrifier2themovie.com. Just put it in your zip code and it will show your local screenings. And I believe it's being released in over 700 theaters. So hopefully you can get to see it on the biggest screen possible and enjoy the carnage.
There you go. And Todd's miming.
I was going to say, fun fact, that's more theaters than House of a Thousand Corpses opened.
Wow.
That was $5.95.
That is true. People forget that one was kind of hard to see back in the day. I lucked out though. I got to see House of a Thousand Corpses on the big screen.
Yeah. Well, October 6th, Terrifier 2 in theaters. Go get your tickets now.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So yes, once again, patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures for all your exclusive action. And it all starts at just $1. And we will see you guys this weekend for the Terrifier 2 review. We've got the big Hellraiser franchise show, Night of the Demons franchise show, /Tober tournament, exclusive interviews, and all sorts of great stuff, hangouts, what have you. Good night, guys.
Good evening.
Stay sick, motherfuckers.
So, did you figure out what you're dressing up as tomorrow?
He wants to dress up as a real guy who murdered 9 people last year.
Oh, you're not doing that.
It's just a costume.
You think that guy's still out there?
What's up with you and this clown all of a sudden? You're like obsessed.
They never found his body. What if he decides to come back here?
I wouldn't worry about it.
Wait a minute, aren't you that guy from the costume shop?
Sir, what are you doing?
It wasn't me.
He was covered in blood on his shirt and his hands when he got here.
I'm telling you, it was him, Allie. Right down to the little black dot on the tip of his nose.
You're really weird, you know that?
I believe him.
About what? Something really bad's gonna happen tonight.
No, I know when Jonathan's lying, okay? I could hear it in his voice. Something's wrong.
Look, we're gonna have fun. Stress-free environment.
Yep.
Speaking of surprises, kids, we have a very special guest with us today, all the way from Miles County. Please welcome Art the Clown.